Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Southern Latitudes. I'm Robin, and you know what today is? It's garden tour day. It's the 16th of the month, and I've been trying to do it on the 15th and trying to consistently do it because sometimes I go back to look in my archives and I go, I don't know when that happened. I don't know, blah, blah, blah. So anyhow, I was like, my goal for this year is to be more consistent on my garden tours so you can really see what happens month to month. Now, some things don't change very much, but then other things really change. And we just had a big change of seasons. Florida just went from being a nice, pleasant spring to all of a sudden we quit preheating and the oven is on at 400 degrees and then some. Some days it feels like 1,000 degrees with 100% humidity, and I am already sweating right now. So anyhow, let's go ahead and get this garden tour started. And I am right here in one of my favorite corners. This is my Barbados cherry tree, and it's about 4 years old and it is blooming like crazy. But the squirrels are, well, it doesn't look like it's blooming like crazy. We had a bad storm last night and it probably knocked off a lot of blooms, but usually it looks like it's snowing in here because there's so many blooms falling off and so many blooms on. And this isn't quite ready yet, but I haven't got to eat very many at all the past month because my squirrels have figured out this is an excellent food source. And it is a great food source. That's why I put it here, because I wanted all the vitamin C. And the other day, Jack's like, I don't know if I'm catching something. And I went out here to look, no cherries, no Barbados cherries at all. So anyhow, it is one of my beautiful specimens. It grows very fast. I prune it often. And I'm really happy that it has its own little space. Absolutely loves full sun. Behind me, we have what we're probably gonna call the pool garden, for lack of better terms. And so you have seen this recently, at least some of you did. It wasn't a very well received video, but we have recently put in a lot of plants in here. Gara, cat whiskers, knockout roses. There are 2 papayas. In the back is my echinacea, which is beginning to fade. And the beautiful green center it once had is now hot pink, and the outer leaves went from hot pink to light pink. But boy, it sure was beautiful. And the bloom has lasted on there for a long time, like a month, I think, easily. And then I have the little sedums, and they're just chucking away. They're covered with dirt a little bit right now. I let the chickens, it's time to start letting the chickens out and let them forage and eat some bugs. But they have made some very nice big wallows in there and scattered a lot of my mulch around. We have dwarf Cavendish bananas all along this side of the fence, and I finally had one of the ones that froze over winter. It fell on its own. I do need to get in here and cut these up. It's just been such a low priority. And then the one that had the banana that was kind of stuck in it is also going to die. It looks like it's close to falling over, but its pup is right next to it, taking its place in almost the same height. This one's coming along very quickly. Then we have the Arbequina olive, which got transplanted over winter. Well, actually just a few months ago, sort of early spring, and it's doing great. It's thriving there. It's actually getting, the tips of it are getting a little bit of sun, considering we have quite a bit of shade in this spot. But as the sun gets higher in the sky through all of summer, we're close to summer solstice, and as the sun gets more up this way instead of low in the sky, this is getting the sun it needs, so it's no big deal. And it's handling the partial shade very good, which I was really surprised. Over here is my just kind of kitchen herb garden, and the basil's toast now. The parsley and thyme are still doing good. Still giving the chickens a little bit of kale dinosaur broccoli. We've had some of that. But oh, and I probably need to move the oregano to the shade. This is too much. Now the Cuban oregano is doing great, but the regular oregano, not so happy. And over here, I don't know if you recognize it. Oh, I meant to pick that stuff up. Is the house garden, and it's completely emptied out. And my goal this weekend I don't know which day, maybe tomorrow, maybe tonight. I don't know how much time I'll be up at the airport today. But my goal is to just completely cover all this with plastic, except for, I'm gonna say that's holy basil, lemon basil, one of those. I'm saving it, and definitely looks like I got some seeds gonna come pretty soon, and it smells great. So we're gonna leave the eggplant in, the row of peppers, cover everything, and then over here for, and of course the pineapples are gonna stay. I left the celery roots, if you will, and we'll see how far it goes. It's just kind of experiment. Usually I just yank it out, but I got to thinking perhaps it'll just go through a summer lull, but then pop back up for fall. So it's really just an experiment. If I lose it, no big deal. I've got more seed for more tango celery for this fall and winter. But yeah, it was a long hour and a half of weeding and disassembling all the T-posts, the rope, the cages. It was long, but I woke up at like 6:15, and there was just enough twilight to get started, and it was cooler, and I was pretty much done by the time the sun came over those trees. Here is our beautiful Persian lime. Now it went through a second bloom, but I didn't see a lot of fruit set. In fact, I've been noticing a lack of honeybees. Now I know that there's all sorts of other pollinators that can come in here, and I think they did what they could. But I don't know if my neighboring swarm left or what, but I've had a little bit more difficulty with pollination and just lack of seeing bees. Even on my Mexican heather, which the honeybees love, had like nothing on it. I still don't see it, and maybe it was because of the drought and there just wasn't nectar in the blooms. That's possible, but you know, we just didn't get the fruit set that we wanted to. And when we go over to the grapefruit tree, I'll show you that too, because it had a beautiful second set of blooms and no pollination there. I'm not sure if you remember the video we had where we potted up these big containers, gorgeous ceramic containers, and we have the cranberry hibiscus or Florida cranberry, whatever you want to call it. It's got all sorts of names. And then we did put some peppers in here, and I do have serranos that did really good. I think I lost one pepper in here, but I can't remember. Did I replace it? I did replace it. So this is the ají mango, I believe. Is that, yeah, ají mango. And I'll show you bigger ones. The mums just went off. Some of them are spent now, but they just finished up too. I did lose all of the zinnias that were in this one. Over here, the other container, we have some ají mangoes that are ready to be picked. Isn't that great? And then this is a sweet bonnet pepper, which is really, really slow in going, but it does have some fruit on it. Just a little bit. It's just starting. And more cranberry hibiscus, and then one little lone green. This is supposed to be the giant Bennery lime zinnia. Not very giant, is it? And some fading celosia down on the bottom. This poor little hibiscus tree, we transplanted it from the front to the backyard, and it gets nothing but shade and no love. But it has a bloom. It's a survivor. And this is the asparagus bed. You guys saw a lot of this last month, but the only thing new that I wanted to point out this month is, look, we have berries. So this is my F1 of the UC-157 hybrid, and so this is the F2 seeds. And so what I take when they go red and they dry out, then I take and I reseed them into dirt. And so this side is the F2. Look at that, I got little bitty asparagus baby in there. And you know, so these are only in their second year, and I have some back there. And of course nutsedge. Who doesn't have nutsedge in Florida? Oh my goodness. And here's Japoticaba doing well. You know, I can't seem to get it to dark green up, so maybe it's about the lighting. It's certainly getting plenty of water now. It's had iron, it's had fertilizer. I think maybe I just should neglect it and see how it goes. I'm trying really hard not to be too long-winded this garden tour, but we do have this great cloud cover today. and it's supposed to happen all day, and so it is comfortable. Even though it's humid, it's very comfortable out here. I did a lot of edging today. So as you can see, our cattle panels are completely emptied out except for the little Kajari melon that absolutely wants to thrive. And there's some sweet potatoes deep in here, like there and there. There's sweet potatoes in here from leftover from last year. I gotta, you know, kind of tidy up the rest of the bed, but for the most part, I was happy with just getting the cattle panels all cleaned off. And you know, you got to pick your battles carefully in Florida in the heat. Nutsedge has already taken this over in like about 2 weeks. Unfortunately, it looks like I never loved this garden, but I've been loving other gardens first, and this garden gets love this coming week. So we have jalapenos over here. These are the Tam, T-A-M jalapenos. Doing really good, looking good. I have burgundy okra, and these were starts given to me by a friend. We did a trade out. And then I have Clemson spineless okra in here, and those came from seed, and look, they're almost like the same height. It's amazing how it caught up like that. We have banana peppers over there doing really good. We got lots of fruit. I never have problem with banana peppers fruiting. The bok choy is still going to seed. I probably should have picked it. I could have, but you know, I'm probably gonna have a lot of bok choy starts and babies over there. The kale still, you know, chicken breakfast, Everglades tomatoes right there. I do have, I don't know if I've shown you this, I have a little bee house here at the end of this garden, and I try to make little bee friendly places wherever, you know, close to gardens. So that's, of course, nobody's coming out today, but like if I stand here long enough, I'll get stung because they're pretty aggressive, these guys. I have leeks in here that are probably hard as crap. They're probably no good, you know. Probably should have got them out like 4 months ago or something. I do have like the Ozark Giants in here, which are doing very little, next to nothing. Look at this poor plant trying to put on a big pepper. I really should pick that pepper. When I get in here and give it love this week, I'll take care of all this. Then we have Cubanelles. We're doing really good on this side. I don't know, it hit some sort of fertilizer jackpot, right? And then the rest, and then what do we have? We have something over there. Hey, wait, like before we go over there, look at this. The Gumfrina is crazy. I lost one plant right here, but looking fabulous as sort of like a ground cover around the apple trees. We'll come back to them in just a minute. And do you remember we did the African daisies? Well, a lot of them didn't like being transplanted, but I got myself like 4 of them, so that's good. What are you? What are you? Orange bell peppers. Alrighty. Well, that'll be nice whenever they decide to come along. Okay. Let's keep moving. What else we got? Oh, that storm. Like I said, it knocked a bunch of these over. I almost lost this little baby sage. Uh-oh, its roots are showing. Oh, but anyhow, the other sages are doing good. Everything's the same. The little lifesaver cactus, its bloom is going into its friend. But anyhow, look, it's all happy, all good. I still got a few transplants that I'm neglecting. But you know, you only have so many hours a day and so many, you know, things to do on the homestead, and the little mini homestead in the yard. I just can't do it all. And I do try to pop out here, like if buddy's got to go potty or something, I try to pop out here and you know, put in like 6 things in the ground or something, just try to keep up with it. But some days also I don't want to get dirty, or I got stuff on the inside. So, and I did a lot of canning. I canned corn this week, and what else did I can? I don't know. I'll put it down below if I remember. I think it was just corn, maybe. I don't know. So one day, like I said, in between one of those breaks, and buddy just had to get out here, I was just like, And it was the morning I did all of house garden, like an hour and a half, and I went in, ate, and I was feeling lazy, but I was like, okay, I really got to get out there, just one more little push, but nothing where I have to bend over because my back was sore in the back of your legs when you bend over so long. And I thought, okay, I will just do my summer solstice prune early, you know, only a week, or isn't it just like the 21st? So I'm not that early, but anyhow, I just was like, whatever, I'm just gonna do it. I'm gonna go out there. And so now David the Good talks about this in multiple videos, and there's a book that I bought called Prune a Little Fruit Tree, I think that, by Anne. I'll put the information down below, but anyhow, I do that every year, and it's because you want to stop the vigor of your tree. You don't want your tree to get really, really high, is the theory behind it. I mean, this was tall. I took a good 3 feet off of it. This is my tropical sweet peach. So I took a lot of, you know, few feet off of it, and I brought it back down because I'm trying to train the tree to stay small and go outward and get bushy that way, not go high. And, you know, I could have probably pruned it back harder, but I didn't. If I want to do that, I'll actually do that in the winter. Now, the avocado, I did give it a much heavier prune because it was very top heavy. Here, if I change the angle, maybe you can see. Do you see how this growth right here is very top heavy? And I wanted to take, you know, a good few pounds of weight off of this because hurricane season is coming, and if I don't prune it now, nature will prune it for me. And so I took a lot of the heavy, a lot of these sections, like right here. Okay, here's a good example, but it's a small section though. So a lot of, like, the ends will usually do this where they have multiple things, 1, 2, 3, 4. You'll have like 4 things coming off of it, and they get very heavy. And you know, I had a lot of that going on up there, so I just, you know, as you can see, like here and up there, I just took a lot of that weight off. And I checked every single spot before I actually pruned it, just to make sure there weren't avocados on here. I took a lot of this, that's, you know, this is the south side of the tree, and it just wants so badly to grow this way. You know, it's not a vine. I keep trying to tell you, you're a tree, not a vine. Stop trying to go to the south. But the south side is definitely looking way healthier and taller and bigger, all that, than the north side. Well, anyhow, so I just tried to, I'm tempted actually to make another cut right here, but I think I'll just leave it where it is for the moment. Yeah. But it's a beautiful tree. It's old enough to have produced fruit for 2 years now, but I keep losing the fruit in storms. That's Florida weather for you. And then the black sapote, well, you know, other people around the country have had it very hard. This is black sapote, and it has not bloomed ever yet, but, you know, maybe soon. I have 2 little katuk plants right there in the ground. This is my sun red nectarine, and again, heavy pruned it kind of naturally. So what I noticed a lot with this particular tree was it would have no leaves, a clump of leaves, and then no leaves again, and then a clump of leaves at the end. So I took them all back to the first set of clump of leaves. Is that good literature or not? A clump of leaves. Okay, anyhow, so you know what I mean though. And I tried to make sure anything that was crossing or dead, there was one that had like a weird shaped branch with like where a cut had been, and you know, that could lead to disease, so I took that out too. Yeah, and I don't know if you saw the video. This was a while ago, probably a good month ago, but I came back from Rockledge Gardens for my birthday trip in April, and I went ahead and made this more like a trunk form for my sweet almond. Now the pollinators are still loving the top. I love the canopy look, but it's so much easier when I want to maintain this tree with the grass or weed whacker or whatever, that the trunk is so much easier. And plus this becomes a bit of a footpath for me. This is a massive pine here. It's not going anywhere, you guys, but it does have quite a bit of a lean out, and so I tend to come right through here, and I needed to clean up my sweet almond to make that easier. Can you see? It's beautiful. I have a round of fruit trees. I just absolutely love it here. This was all, you know, when we moved in here, it was just, I don't want to say wasted space, but it was like the area that nobody ever came into. It just was intimidating. The trees were back here. It just looked lifeless and empty. And we have really turned it into something productive. Of course, the chicken coop is there. No chickens in it yet. Jack is still, oh, y'all, don't say anything to Jack. Jack is really in a massive overhaul on the plane, and a lot of it's by choice. You know, they do have the annual, you know, condition inspection, but you know, he is just doing a major bang up beautiful job on that plane. But it took longer than the month that we had scheduled for him to be away from the yard and the coop. And so now we're on 6 weeks, and it looks like we got another week or two left before he's completely done and then back up and flying again. And it's going to be beautiful. It's got paint, new paint coming, and checkers on the tail. It's incredible. But meanwhile, this is why we were pushing so hard to get the coop done by April, and it just did not happen. And that's quite okay. He's going to come back here and knock this out, and we'll have the chickens over before a hurricane comes. I hope. So this is jelly fig, and it also got a prune, but I did save the cuttings because I am going to try to root them. So it was just too much. These were coming way out. They were totally unproductive. I have a volunteer cherry tomato. So a lot of you, when I did my tomato video, were like, oh, I still have tomato. Yeah, cherry tomatoes will still go. But here's one thing. Okay, cherry tomatoes are better in the heat. But also, you may have a green plant like I do. But look, you're still going to have blossom drop. It's just too freaking hot. It's really hot out here, you guys. So, anyhow, I cut back the jelly fig, trying to promote something in it. Like, I threatened its life, and I said, if you don't start producing, I'm just going to dig you out and put in a fruit tree that will produce. That's what I did with this other dwarf everbearing mulberry that used to be here, too. And it had no roots in it. It was completely dying. And this one got, oh man, a good 4 or 5 feet taken off the top. I couldn't pick any of the fruit that were way up there anyhow. The birds were just getting them. And so it actually creates a lot more vigor in your tree when you do prune. And mulberries especially love being pruned. And you can take them back really hard, and they'll completely come back in a month or 6 weeks. My friend at Wild Floridian, Jacqueline, she did a whole video on it where she stripped her tree down, leaves and everything, and it was right back in a month and producing mulberries for her. My little toothache plant still chugging along, doing great things. Yeah, I can't believe that's a perennial for sure. Over here is the smoothie garden. I did kind of get in here and do some work, some weeding. You can see where I've disturbed the ground. Haven't got a lot of anything else. Not a lot of changes in here. Just I still have the boards that are back here and 2 boards that are up here. I don't know that this is the right season for them, so they may not make it. And look, we have some sort of I don't know what that is. If that's I have to look that up. I used to know, and now it's escaping me. But little Pickering mango is doing good. I got a passion vine there. I don't know why. And the sunflowers are all gone. And up here, isn't this just the sweetest little picture? This is my black-eyed Susan vine. And it's just so sweet around the little birdhouse. I don't think we have any birds in there, so. But it looks totally cute. And it replanted itself down there, and I accidentally pulled it out. I was trying to save it. I was going to transplant it. But anyhow, there must be a way to get the seeds out of here. I've never actually tried and looked very hard. I haven't looked hard at all. But there must be a way of getting those seeds on the spent blooms. No? I don't know. Do you guys know? Or is it just like you can only do it by cuttings, propagation? Anyhow, here's my container. Oh my goodness. So this one, The no, that's not verbena. Starts with a T. The Terrenia or something like that. Not loving the heat. This one's kind of gee, I can't remember all their names. The the Snow White. Who are you? The Snow White Lobularia, also known as, I can't remember, it's not coming to me. Doing fantastic. The Bush Daisies, they're just kind of in and out of a cycle right at the moment. The Verbena hanging in there in the heat, amazing. I have not a Pinots over here. Cilantro went to seed. I did try to drop some seed a couple weeks ago to see if we could get some cilantro to come up on one of those cold snaps at the end of May, but so far I don't see cilantro babies. But anyhow, not a Pinot here. I have pumpkin spice jalapeno right here. I got 3 of them. A little celosia, oregano, orange bulbine. Man, if you don't have that, this is great. It is kind of multiplying. I could probably come through this winter, divide it, and put it in multiple places, but oh, those big fat bumblebees love this. They super love orange bulbine. Aloe in the back, pineapples. I'm just going to keep a little bit of a distance here, but the elderberry is doing amazing things. I keep a little bit every couple days. I get to put all the berries away in the freezer, so we're going to make elderberry syrup for colds this winter. The Mexican guava, doing good. I might have cut back a little bit more on it. Pineapple guava, still growing. I'll give it a good prune this winter. What are you? Butterfly pea, okay, in the middle of nowhere. I have a few of them, I noticed, over here. So the seeds have dropped, but they haven't started attaching yet to the trellis system. And this has pretty much been taken over by, here's something new this month. Okay, you've seen the Lady Margaret. Okay, so this is hybrid. This is one you don't eat, okay? Now, the Incarnata, which I have the Maypop over there, you can have a purple bloom or a white bloom. Those are edible, right? And you're like, but I have fruit on my tree. I have fruit. Yeah, you're gonna have fruit. I got fruit all over my tree too. But it's a hybrid and it's completely sterile. On the inside, there's no yummy, nothing in there. Those will be just like a puff of nothing, like an empty, hollow puff. Ask me how I know. Ooh, look at this. I got a pineapple getting yellowy. Yeah. Come pick it out. Okay, nothing's really changed here with the Miracle Fruit still producing like crazy. Look, some new growth on it. Turmeric. Turmeric is up. Yes. So I will be looking for a bloom here soon. So that's new this month. And also the ground cherries volunteered from, I think, some bird. So look at that. I got little ground cherries in there. That'll be great. Probably easier to keep up with them than pick them. Ooh, buddy's got the zooms. Rosebush. Lime tree just decided to go ahead and start having curl. I do not know what's up with the sudden curl on it. It's not happy. I don't know. Seems like nothing that I bought out of that batch was really good. I had a Eureka pink lemon that also died too. And the Meyer lemons never did real good. Hi, buddy. The blueberries. Okay, so I had a really nice blueberry, but I'm waiting for the blueberry. And guess what? I saw it. It was turning blue, and I said to myself, Robin, you need to go pick all that. And all that. You need to pick it. And the next day I came out to pick it, it was gone. So a squirrel, you know, probably went up and down the highway here and definitely picked at it. So, oh well, here's the Christmas bean. And I think we're gonna finally start seeing a little bit of blooms, maybe? I don't know anything about this thing. So that's new. Okay, and then this, my friend Teresa, remember we went to her yard and it was magnificent. Shade-loving gardens for the most part, and in the living hedge of Hawaiian Schefflera. But anyhow, she gave me this cutting, and it's coming to life with new growth. So I got some weeds in there too, so forgive that. But I looked it up, and it's either the devil backbone or something else. If you know, let me know, but that's what my plant app was saying. So I'm really cool. It's very toxic, extremely toxic. That's why it's up here on a trellis. Buddy can't get to it, grandkids can't get to it, I barely get to it. It's just for looking at. So over here, none of the seeds I planted in there came up. I do have a air potato vine that needs to come out. I gave my bell, this is a bell, carambola bell, starfruit. I gave it a slight prune. I don't know why it's not blooming. Maybe it's taking a little bit of time off, but it did have some really big droop to it, so I took those off. And it does free us up to see the African potato mint. Look on in there, you see that? That is a form of starch if you're like in a survival situation, or if you just really like the flavor of it. So you don't really eat the leaves that I know of, but and they do die back every year in the winter, but it comes back. It makes great ground cover, and yeah, it's just something fun to do. And another little layer of my food forest canopy, and all sorts of things. Look at all the berries on the elderberry, and the star of the show, the grapes. Oh, I don't know how to get in there. It's well protected on purpose. And I did eat one. They're still pretty sour. So we're just gonna let it go. Let it keep going. There we go. There's chocolate mint, regular mint. Yeah, and here you can kind of see these grapes. Beautiful. We have all sorts of defense. We've got pie pan, scarecrow, another pie pan. Doing everything we can to keep the squirrels off of them. And then over here we have our berry patch, and we've been picking heavily the blackberries. I see there's another one. And then we have a brand new cane that just came out. Look at this. See this? See how this cane is green and the others are more woody? So this is going to be next year's cane where the fruit comes off of it, and it's so big and strong. It looks beautiful. We'll have a lot of blackberries next year as well as this year. Look, here's the next set that we'll be looking for. We have beauty berry right here. Oh, this is my grapefruit that I was telling you about. So we had weird blooms in December, which did get some pollinated, but then we had a ton of blooms. I can't remember, was that April or something, when the rains came, and we got a lot of new growth on it, and all the blooms were up there. And do you think we set fruit? No, not hardly. Like that one looks, this one might be an April bloom that's turned into fruit. I had Meyer lemon blooms. I got no fruit out of that. I don't know where the honeybees are. I don't know. But there's, you know, this tree usually is loaded with fruit, and I don't see it this year. Uh-oh, getting a little something on it. I should know what that is. I look it up every year and then I forget it every year. That's terrible, isn't it? There's so many things to remember. This looks like it needs some iron, huh? A little chlorosis. Not looking so good on the new growth. We have set fruit on the peanut butter tree, and that's exciting. We got lots of fruit over here, actually. Yep, everywhere. There wasn't a lot of bloom this year, this spring. So Buddy is showing off one of our newer gardens that we made this spring, and it was always kind of a you know, garbage can, junky area. It had some flowers at certain times, and then they come and go. We're trying to learn what worked best in all this full sun. And so when we went to Rockledge Gardens in April, I did pick up a bunch of coleus. The only thing that want to come out my mouth was celosia, but anyhow, coleus, don't get them wrong. Look at this one. I just realized this one's blooming. Oh, that's pretty cool. So this is the Wizard's velvet red. Oh, this color is spectacular, and the little margin of green in it, beautiful. Also beautiful and whatever name these ones are. Oh, also beautiful. We have the little polka dot plant. You know what? I think my neighbor's about to have work, so this garden tour is going to get cut short. But we put some plumeria in here. I have some periwinkle in the back. The ginger in the pot came up, but we also have ginger came back from last year over here. We have impatiens. I don't know if the yellow shrimp plant will come back, but it's in there. We have various colors of impatiens in here. Some of them, they're between blooms right here. Oh yeah, wow, those are firm. I gotta get in here and dig. We got all sorts of pinks in the middle, darker hot pinks. Well, I guess that's hot pink. I don't know what you call that one. And then whites. And then we have this plant. I had to look it up too. And it has a little purple flower on it. I'll put the name down below. It's on my plant app. The acha acha is looking great. I don't think a chicken did this wallow. I think that was Buddy. And he just about knocked this over. I need to fix that. The acha acha is, I've never had fruit from it. It's like 3 years old and still the same height practically. But it's supposed to have like little marshmallowy type fruit on it at some point in its life. I moved a couple of the sweet basils over here. This is my angel trumpet plant. It also has a name with a D and I can't think of it right now. But it made the transplant, you guys. Also over here, we'll just go around. This is the brown turkey fig, doing good. No fruit though. No fruit. 4 o'clock's not looking their best because it's in the morning right now. Then we have the yellow alamanda. We have a little pineapple tucked in there. This is a Aztec gold plumeria. Some more mums. Again, they just kind of finished their season. Cranberry hibiscus. This was supposed to be the orchid tree, and it looks like my little thing didn't survive. But look at all the weeds I got from it. So isn't that awesome? They're not supposed to be in there. This is Chicago Hardy Fig. Doing really good. I got some more impatiens in here. Ice cream bananas are here. Oh, by the way, the bananas in the other area of the garden, those were grand names. And then this, I've been waiting, y'all. I've been actually hiding it for 2 weeks from you. So my shampoo ginger decided to have babies. Look, let's get in here. Look, here's the little cones. Do you see them? Look, 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 look. Blooms today. Now those weren't there before, but I could see the little cones. See how they come up, and they come up different than like something with foliage, with leaves. And oh my goodness, I was like, those are cones. So they don't happen to the second year, and I had to be patient. But look at that. Isn't that adorable? Yeah. I have shampoo ginger cones. That'll be awesome. So excited. I don't know why. I don't even know what I'm going to do with it, but I'm just excited to have it. Here is my little shade path heading into Jack's shed. And so I still have the Persian basil in here, and white gora, which is growing slower than the other gora, but that's okay, it's in shade. Here's some more Persian basil in here. Now we have, oh gosh, I know what this is. Rebecca. Some more impatiens. We got all sorts of colors in here. We got the purple cat whiskers. I don't know if that shows up on the camera. Those are actually purple, not white, which are beautiful. Bye-bye, shampoo ginger. We have different salvia whites, mixed color, like a candy cane. Isn't that beautiful? And the red one here is in between blooms. And then we have a really pretty purple one down here. So, oh, you guys, and here's my Christmas cactus. Christmas, don't say that wrong. Cacti, and Thanksgiving. I have some of them are Thanksgiving cactus. And you tell that by, and I'm gonna get it wrong, but like this one only has 2 spikes on the side. This one has like 3 spikes on the side. Can you see that? So that makes one of them Christmas and one of them Thanksgiving. Really doesn't matter to me. And we got the yellow, the coral, the white, a scarlet, something like that. Yeah. So they're just hanging out here all summer. I haven't pulled them on the porch or anything. They barely get, you know, they get rain when they need to. They don't get but a tiny little bit of sun. And yeah, they're happy. They're loving the humidity. I got one more little plumeria over here. This is, oh man, so I started taking out the dead old part of this bromeliad. It has beautiful red or hot pink cones in it, or whatever blooms in it. And I started to take out, and I was gonna shave my way down because it seemed easiest in order to fight these super sharp razor blades. This one has terrible razor blades on it. And Jack freaked out, so it has like this gap in the middle. He's like, no, you're killing it. I'm like, no, I'm not killing it, but anyhow, whatever. So there it'll be until I can wear long sleeves again and finish tackling it on a day when he's not around. Because, you know, he's like me, he hates to see plants die, but you know, somebody's got to do stuff like that. Somebody has to take care of the dead growth. Oh, you guys, so I think we're gonna call it quits. My neighbor's having work done up front there, and it's about to get really loud and noisy, and I think this video is long enough, so we'll have a garden tour part 2 when I can get back up front and show you North Garden and South Garden. Okay, you guys, that's it for today. I hope you're doing well. Have a great weekend and a great week. Take care, God bless, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.